In today's video, I'm going to be covering two bad lies that you could be facing in a bunker. I'm going to be going through a plug shot and a bear lie when there's not enough sand. There's real similarities between the two, so I'm going to cover them together. Stay tuned to find out more. Welcome back to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Branston Golf and Country Club. Today's video, as I said, is going to be in the sand, and we're going to be talking about bear lies and plug lies, so two bad shots that you may be facing in a bunker. And there's some real similarities between the two, so I'm going to face them together. And what I've had to do here is actually dig out quite a lot of sand. I think there's plenty in this, and I actually might just use the back of the rake on the bear lie again, just to try and smooth it over to really make it very compact. And then I'm going to be playing the plug lie, obviously, when there is enough sand, because you'll only really get that ball plugging when there's plenty of sand in there and that ball's coming in from some height into the bunker. But there's really no difference between them apart from the amount of power I'd put into it. So the sand plays a big part in that. The sand slows the club down. We do not ever aim to strike the golf ball. We're always aiming to hit about 2 inches behind the golf ball. So in a bear lie, there's less sand to slow the club down, so I have less speed. In a plug lie, there's loads of sand to slow the club down, so I need more speed. That's really the only difference. The setup is going to be very much the same. So if you get confused with these shots, I'm hoping this video is really going to help you. So let me cover the bear one first. And as I said, I've scraped out as much sand as I can. You can see I've pushed it perhaps all to the front edge here, and I'll just make it very compact underneath. So compact hard sand. Could be that it's a very wet bunker. It might be that you're unlucky and someone hasn't raked the bunker, which they of course should have done, and you're in someone's footprint. I'd play it very much the same way here. And then I'm going to be playing the plug one just when I've raked all the sand forward, so we'll play it out of a horrendous lie where there is plenty of sand in there. As I said, very much the same setup. I'm going to draw some lines in the bunker just for my explanation. So my target line is there. I want my body line parallel to this. For every real bunker shot, I don't believe in opening your stance and cutting across the golf ball. That's just not really how I see any good players or any great coaches teaching it. I don't like that method. All I would be trying to do here is, yes, we want more of a digging swing, but I'm not going to create more of an out to in swing to create that. I'm just going to be changing effectively the loft on the golf club and the angle of attack as well. So if you do have a couple of wedges that you use in the bunker, I would use the lower bounce wedge for these two options. So you may have the bounce written on the club, or you may need to do a bit of research online. Generally, your sand wedge is going to have more bounce. That's your sort of 56 degree. That's generally a higher bounce wedge. And if you've got a lob wedge in there, more 60 degrees, 58 degrees, that will be a little lower on the bounce angle, and that will work better to dig a little bit more. So less bounce will dig more, more bounce will skim more. So do a little bit of research if you've got a couple of wedges. I really only use my 58 out the bunker. I have got a 52 and then my pitching wedge, and I'll use those on long bunker shots, but on greenside bunker shots within 30 yards, really I'm using this one club, and I vary the club face position for the loft. So if I had loads of sand and I wanted a high shot, I'd really open that club face up. But with these shots, I'm actually going to be playing the club face very square. For the main reason, this club has got 10 degrees of bounce on, meaning this bottom edge here is 10 degrees lower than the front edge. But if I open the club face up, I get the bottom edge sitting way lower, good now, probably 45 degrees now that I've opened the club face almost to point straight up in the air, and that would get the club skimming. Well, when there's less sand or when the ball's buried in the sand, I don't want skimming, I want digging. So I'm going to play the club face pretty square on both these shots. I'm not going to be opening it. I am going to accept that these balls are going to roll and release and may just finish a little bit past the flag here. But if you've got a bad lie in a bunker, the main thing is get the ball out and get the ball on the green, on the putting surface if we can. You know, I've got here quite a short bunker shot and a little downhill to the flag, so I may struggle to stop it. But I'm really happy with anything 10, 15 foot past this flag isn't a bad shot from a bear lie, from a plug lie. So I'm going to be playing the club face straight. That's number one. The other thing, as I mentioned in there in setup, is potentially using a lower bounce club. I would keep the ball position normal. So I play the ball nearing my left heel, way up forwards in my stance. And I always want to be aiming for about 2 inches behind the golf ball. That doesn't change. I really want to set my pressure onto my left side with all shots. On these 2 shots, even more so. If anything, it's really important to get a good 70+% of your pressure over there on your lead leg. And I do that by flaring my lead foot out towards the target, and then I can push my knee over my toe and I'll feel that pressure onto my lead side there. Normally I'd handle or move the handle a little bit further back when I'm playing a normal bunker shot to really get that club skimming. I'm not going to worry about that so much. I'm definitely not going to be pushing way forwards, but I'm not going to worry too much about angling the club back. I have played this club face straight. The only swing change that I'm making is a normal bunker shot I would class as more of a U-shaped swing. So the club is following on quite a normal wide pattern. And you'll see there as I trace this, it's quite a wide arc that I'm creating. It's got a longer low point, if you like. Because I want this to dig, I'm actually going to be trying to make what I'd class as more of a V-shaped swing. So I'm trying to go a little bit more vertical up and down, feeling like I achieve that through wrist cock. So I'm trying to cock my wrists up a little bit quicker in the backswing to allow me to make more of a V-shaped swing rather than a wide U-shaped swing. And hopefully you'll see that on camera. That's the only change I'm really making here from a normal bunker shot, is that V-shaped swing, that earlier wrist cock. Because this is a bare lie, there's less sand, less speed. Plug lie, loads of speed, hit it hard, thump it, give it a real welly. But on this one here, I'm just going to almost be feeling like the weight of the club drops into the sand. And if I could have got this lie barer still, but there is plenty of sand in this bunker, it was quite difficult to achieve that, then it's really just almost letting the weight of the club drop into the sand. I don't want to feel like I'm putting too much effort and energy into it. So let's give it a go. I've got that ball forwards. I'm still aiming for about 2 inches behind the golf ball. My pressure's on my lead leg. I'm going to be just trying to go nice and light with my grip as I would do normally, and I'm feeling more of a V-shaped swing, an earlier wrist cock, almost allowing the weight to drop into the sand. So you can see I didn't need to put a lot of energy into that one, and I just got that club digging into the sand, so I still got underneath the ball. That, you know, I made this as bare as I could. I've moved most of the sand out and I really compressed that sand. I didn't have to hit that ball very hard because the club wasn't being slowed down, but I'd definitely take that to about 5 foot or so. Now a plug lie. So if I go forwards here where there's plenty of sand and I just push that ball into the sand, you can see we're half buried there. I've only got the top half of the golf ball showing, which I doubt you're going to get much more than that. A plug lie, there's a load of sand where I've pushed it forwards. I'd keep the ball position the same. I'd still be aiming for 2 inches. I'd still be setting the pressure onto my lead leg. Nothing changes. I'd definitely still be playing the same club in the same club face position. It's still that early wrist cock for that V-shaped swing. The only difference is the amount of effort I put into it. So on this one here, I've actually got to feel like there's a lot more energy being put into it because the club is going to be slowed. There's so much sand, you will see here, if I have a quick practice swing, there's so much sand, I've got to really create some speed, some acceleration to make sure I get this ball out. So ball is forwards, pressure is forwards, club face is straight. I'm going to have that early wrist cock and I'm going to be thumping it. I'm going to be generating some speed. So it came out actually nice and high, maybe that I'm a little bit on an upslope. The ball will always release a little bit more out of a plug lie there and a bare lie, but allow for that. If the flag's that little bit further away, you're rubbing your hands, it's perfect. Let the ball just land on the green and release. I've got a slightly tighter flag here, so it's hard to stop it quick enough, but I've got a 5 foot putt and maybe a 8-10 foot putt, and I'd definitely take those from these 2 bad lies. Remember that we're actually playing them basically the same. The only difference there is the amount of speed I put into it. The setup is the same for bare lies and plug lies. So hopefully that will help you next time you're in the bunker and you haven't got a perfect lie. We can't always expect that. If this video has helped, please make sure you hit the thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel. It's the best way to show support for my channel, the TruGolf Academy, and make sure you never miss a video again. Cheers, guys.